Okay, here we go. Just like Emily Young. Here we go.
Here we go.
Emily Young is a ripoff of Daniel Cook, but Daniel Cook got old and his voice broke, so they had to bring Emily Young on board. One is redhead freckle, the other one is Asian. Daniel Cook, Emily Young. It's not Y-O-U-N-G, it's Y-E-U-N-G. And she has the black hair and the different eyes. She has a different last name. Don't worry about it. This is more of your parents doing a better job of not letting you ever watch television, which is going to make it a little bit difficult for you at cocktail parties, but that's okay. You'll catch up. You see, you don't know who Daniel Cook and Emily Young are, do you? I know, because your parents didn't let you watch the shows. This is Daniel Cook and this is Emily Young.
I've never heard of that before. I've watched TV and I've never heard of that.
This is Daniel Cook going to the aquarium. Here we go! And then they go to the aquarium. And then Daniel Cook memorized a bunch of very high-level questions that a kid would never ask. And he was such a bad actor, you could obviously tell that 1 second before they filmed it, the director had been, okay, now look at the oceanographer and say, does a whale really breathe underwater? And then Daniel Cook would go, does a whale really breathe underwater? Until the 3rd or 4th season. And then he was getting good at it. And then he would go, well, I was wondering, do whales really breathe underwater? And he could actually act. But the first few seasons, he was so bad. It was embarrassing. My kids would have kicked that show's ass. But nobody asked them. Another sidebar, I have a very good friend from high school whose name was actually Daniel Cook in the 80s. And then when that came out, man, did Daniel Cook get a lot of abuse. Do you have a relative named Daniel? Oh, I know your dad. Of course, I play hockey with your dad. Every time you see your dad, you should go, every time you go anywhere, you say, Dad, here we go. He probably won't like it. Yes, see? I know that people don't like it because I used to have a friend named Owen, and there was a character in an old movie from the 80s who talked to her son Owen like this. Owen! That's what it sounded like. And every time I had to say Owen's name because he was my age and he grew up and saw the same movie, I would say, Owen! And he got really, really mad. And one time we were at a party, we were drinking a few beers, and Owen came in and I said, Owen! And he walked up to me and he punched me in the nose. And I was like, fair enough. And I didn't even punch him back. Yes. What? Yes. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Not yet. Does that thing I just wrote on the screen, is that something for which you could find me an answer?
Yes.
Why? No. I didn't ask for the answer. I'm asking you why you were able to find an answer. McKenna. You're given enough information because x plus 5 equaled 9. And now, what is the answer? 4. Why? Because 9 minus 5 is 4. Not because 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay? Okay. Now, what's the answer to the red thing? There isn't one. This is an expression because there is no answer. Okay? Everybody good? All right. Now, let us begin. Ganika has graciously offered to tell us what a polynomial is.
It's an expression that has variables, a squared variable, non-squared variables, and numbers. Where do you read that?
Not bad.
I memorized.
I would change it slightly because I didn't like the fact that you specified a squared variable. It does not need to have a squared variable. It can have any exponent. Oh, okay. Well, then that would have been great. Okay. So, She's absolutely right. A polynomial is an expression, meaning there's no equal sign, an expression consisting of a combination, and I'm lazy, so I'm going to only write combo, a combo of coefficients variables and constants. Now I'm going to highlight 3 of those terms in specific colors. And then I'm going to write a polynomial. Where is the constant? Manrach. 7. Why do we call 7 a constant? Because it's always 7, right?
Is it negative 7 or?
I'm just about to ask that. Get out of my head, Neufeld!
My sister told me.
Is it 7 or is it negative 7? It is negative 7. Okay? Because subtraction doesn't actually exist. This is really 4x squared plus negative 7. But math people are lazy. They don't want to write plus bracket, negative bracket. So they invented this symbol to help us out. Okay? All right. Now, what is the variable? X. Why is that variable? Because you don't know what it is. X could be any value right now. What is the coefficient? 4. Why is 4 a coefficient, but 7 is a constant? Preston. Yes. Depending on what the variable is, 4's value will change.
Is it like efficient with its co? Coefficient. Like, no, it's not supposed to be a joke. I'm genuinely wondering.
Okay, I make the jokes here.
But like, do you see what I mean?
I see what she's trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, everyone is good? Yes? Okay. Now, Gunika made a point in her definition of specifically discussing exponents, right? And the reason for that is as follows. You don't need to write down what I'm about to write down. Is that a polynomial? No, it's a 4. Is that a polynomial?
Never gonna forget about that one.
Is it a polynomial? Yes, of course it is. It's a constant. It's a number, right?
But it says a combination.
Is that a polynomial? Yes. Is that a polynomial?
Wait, how is the 4 a polynomial if it says it's a combination of coefficients, variables?
Okay. 1 times 1 times 4. All right. Good question, though. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is that a polynomial? No. Why? Because is what you say when you don't have an answer. Why didn't you do your homework? Because. Why didn't you clean your room? Because. Why are you being so mean to your sister? Because. Now, is the new. That's new teenage speak for because. Or whatever. So, why is this yes and this no? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with what Catherine and I were just discussing. 1 times 1 times 4 is 4, so it's a polynomial. What's this? X times X. What's this?
You don't know.
It's 4 how many times?
Yeah, no, man.
You don't know. You cannot write this. So it's not a polynomial. Everybody cool? So if it happens once in math, how often does it happen? All the time. So if you ever have a variable exponent, do you have a polynomial? No. What?
Always remember that a coefficient is the number in front of the variable.
Thank you, Ganika. Just like I highlighted the number in front of the variable with blue, just in case you guys are visual learners. Okay, stop. Back to business. Monomial. 1. Mono equals 1. Like a monocle that like old guys wear.
Then why is mono?
My mom wouldn't let me get a monocle when I was in the 9th grade because I only had one bad eye. And I said, Mom, why would we pay for 2 lenses? I could just get a monocle on my one eye. And my mom said, no, you'll look like a... And then she said a bad word. Because it's an ethnic stereotype, so I will not use it. Huh? My mother said that if I wore a monocle, I would look like a Nazi. Because in old movies, the bad Nazi characters always had a monocle.
Yeah.
Right? No. The monocle. So, she wouldn't let me get one, so I was mad at her.
Mr. Meyers. Okay, how do Germans tie their shoes?
How?
In little Nazis.
Okay. I don't know. Yep. Okay. So a monomial is a single unit. Why is that still up? There we go. A single unit of any of those connected by multiplication. So, is that a polynomial? Yes. And is that a monomial? Yes, because it's a single unit. Is that a polynomial? Yes. Is it a monomial? Yes, because it is a coefficient and a variable connected by multiplication. Good? Is that a monomial? Yes. Is that a monomial? Yes. Is that a monomial? No. That is a binomial because bi equals 2. So a binomial is 2 monomials joined by what? Technically, it's only addition, but you know what I mean. So, 4 plus 2x. Is that okay? Excellent. 3xy cubed plus 2y. Is that okay? Excellent. 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. No. That is a trinomial. Why? Because tri equals 3. Trinomial is 3 monomials.
I write too slow.
So, 3xyz plus 2abc minus 4hij. Trinomial. Okay? Everybody good? Okay, now let's do a little bit more no writing, just thinking. Oh, did you need that back?
Yes, just for a couple seconds, please.
Awesome. So was my eraser, because it was a Stedler.
Oh, it's Stedler.
That's why they work so well. Would you just... Okay. 4 plus 3. Mono, bi, or trinomial? No. Why? If mono, because it's 7. Okay. You would never leave it unsimplified. Okay? 2x plus 3x plus 2y.
Binomial.
No. Binomial. Because that is 5x plus 2y.
5x squared.
No. It is not 5x squared because I am not multiplying, I am adding. Do you? Excellent. That is going to end up being what? A binomial.
Because you can add the 6 and then the 2 and then...
10x squared, 2x.
No, you do the 6 and then 2.
Just make squared is just...
All right, okay. We're going to get to that in a minute. Okay. The degree of polynomial. Now, Ganika is going to read us her definition of the degree of polynomial. Go. The value of the largest exponent. 3x squared plus 2x. What degree is that? 2. Okay. 2. Good. Okay. 4x cubed plus 3y to the 5th. What degree is that?
5.
Great. 4xyz plus 3x squared. Wrong. 3. Why? 1, 1, 1. 3.
Then why wouldn't that be for the 3x squared plus 2x squared?
Okay, wait.
Okay, so we remember. It is not the largest single exponent. It is the largest sum of variable exponents from any one term. Okay? So, 6x plus 4, degree 1, because there's a 1 with the x. 3x squared, 2, because there's a 2. 3xy, 2. Yes, Brendan.
What if there was a negative exponent?
I'm getting to that. 3xy squared, or xyz, 3. Now, Brendan, and I hate that I keep doing that to you, Brendan. I'm working on it. I really am. I do. Before I go to answer his question, I want to throw a couple out there to see how comfortable you people are with this concept. What is the degree of that polynomial?
1.
No.
0.
0. No variables. What is the degree of... That was supposed to be a 7. 9. What if I add this? What degree is that?
Wait, you add them?
No. No. It's a whole thing now. Still 9. Because it's in one term. Everybody good? Now.
Wait.
2 plus 7. No. In any one term.
Oh.
Everybody's good? No, because 2 plus 7 is 9. It's greater than 6. Now, Brendan asked, okay, Mr. Meyers, I read you, except he said, what if it was 6x to the negative 2? The question becomes, is that a polynomial?
It's not.
Is it?
Another rule of polynomials is variables.
1 second. Manraj, do you want to finish that off now? You can't have variables in the denominator. Why? Because my teacher told me you can't. Why? So my teacher told me that once in math class, so it always happens in math. No, here is the reason why. What is this really? 6 over x squared, yes? Right? Now, what does x mean? It can be any number, correct? What if x equals 0? Is that allowed? You can't divide by 0, can you? It's undefined, which means if x is 0, this cannot exist in our number system. Therefore, it cannot be a polynomial. Does everybody understand? It's logic. Is everybody good? It's a really good question. I'm glad you asked, because usually I have to lead people to it. Everybody cool? Now you've all heard, obviously some of you have had a teacher that went out of their way to do the polynomial rules. It would be nice if they had also told you why. But, yes. Everybody good? Okay, now, the thing, all of you are already, because you're honor students, are already like, oh, I got to figure out degree of polynomial. You don't. I don't care. But you need to have seen it because future teachers and profs will care, and the polynomials will get so big and complex that they will want it ordered in such a way that they can read it easily. And here is what I mean by that. This explains it in that sentence right there. You don't have to write it down. I just want you to see it. If I gave you this, 4x cubed 3x squared plus 4x cubed minus 4x. The way we like to write this down is in alphabetical order, largest degree first. So there's only one letter there, so everything is an x. So we're going to write our x's first. The 3 is the largest degree. So to write this properly, I shouldn't use the word properly. To write this conventionally speaking, thank you, that's a much better word. 4x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x. Everybody cool? Now, what if there's a variable added to this? What if it was 4x squared y, x cubed y squared, and then at the very end, I brought in a plus 4y squared minus 5y. How would you tidy that up, do you think? What would go first? Suhani. Right, because x is before y in the alphabet, and 3 is the biggest x. Everybody cool? So we'd start with 4x cubed y squared. Then what? Finish the x's. 3x squared y. Any more x's? Where? Minus 4x. Then we move on to the y. Which y goes first? 4y squared, because the squared is bigger than 1. Then we would finish all the y's. Is everybody good? How this will, keep it in your head, how this will affect you is in grade 10, we don't go much beyond a trinomial. And the most complicated trinomial you're going to see is something like 3x squared plus 18xy plus 9y squared. See how we finished all the x's, then we started on the y's. Everybody cool? That's the only reason it exists. It's just for looks. It has nothing to do with the math concept. So don't stress about it, okay? Ganika. Okay. Everybody's good? All right, we still aren't leaving the warm and cozy embrace of grade 9. Except we are not going to use, I'm not going to get out and play with blocks because you are the honors class. I will remind you of this. Algebra tiles have two uses. One, they are the only way to make you people actually understand why 7 minus 4 is really 7 plus 4. These will allow me to show that concept. I'm not going to. The other thing they're good for is teaching you how to do factoring, which is what you are going to learn very, very soon. Factoring is a useless in real life piece of math. It only exists to simplify complicated math. It is math for the sake of doing math. Okay? It is the true beginning of pre-calculus. All right? Up until now, we haven't done any pre-calculus. Okay? Okay. So, let's talk about this. If you were going to read that to me in English, what would you say? No, again, you don't need to be able to see that because that is exactly what is in your front of your face on your desk. What would you say that was in English? How would you read that? What would you say to me? You would say 5 bracket? No. 5 times. You would say 5, and you don't need to write this down, times x plus 1, correct? All right. Which means x plus 1. There is a positive x, negative x, positive 1, negative 1, positive x squared, negative x squared. There is an x, yes? X. Plus 1 is positive 1. How do I draw that? One little box. Plus 1. And how many of them do I need? 5. Because it tells me right there. 5 times that. So I would draw that how many times? Right? And what would that answer be? How many x's do I have? 5 x's. How many singles do I have? Plus 5. Done. Right? That's the beginning of algebra tiles. How will they be used to help us with factoring? I'm about to show you. Factors are the two things that multiply together, correct? Right? Anything that multiplies together is a factor, yeah? So in this expression here, I have 2 factors, don't I? I have 5 and I have x plus 1. Agreed? Okay. If I wanted to draw them as a rectangle, then this would be the length, wouldn't it? This would be the width, wouldn't it? And this would be the area, wouldn't it? How would I find that area? I would do width times length, yes? So width and length are factors. Area is a product, yes? So we put our factors outside. So our first factor, x plus 1. X, 1. Agreed? Yeah? Okay. Our second factor, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Agreed? So, 1 times 1x. How many x's do I got to bring out here? 1, because it's 1 wide and x long. Agreed? Then I'm going to do it again, 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 and again. Correct? Now, I got 1 times 1. Again, 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 and again. 5 x's, positive 5, 5x plus 5. Product in the middle, factors on the outside. Everybody good? Please say yes so I don't have to show you much more algebra tiles. Excellent! Way to go, guys, because I don't like using algebra tiles. They make me angry. Thank you. Yeah? Okay. Now, let us promptly forget that. But you still have to know how to do it. Oh, we'll get to that. Now, let's talk about what's really going on, because we don't need little things to count. We do not go 9 times 7. 63. I know you do. I'm well aware. I'm joking. We are going to do math because we are in pre-diploma math. We are not in counting class. No, it isn't. So, algebraically, if there was no plus 5 there, how do I write 5 times x? 5x. If there was no x there, how do I write 5 times positive 1? No, what? I would not write that out. You would write positive 5, right? Right? Okay, so that must mean if 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times positive 1 is positive 5, then what is 5 times x plus 1? 5x plus 5. And how did we get there? Through the distributive property. Your previous teachers gave it some sort of fun little nickname. I don't care. Because it doesn't have a fun little nickname. No, it is the distributive property, Josephine. Why are you calling me Josephine? That's not my name. No, your name is Ganika, so I will call you Ganika. The distributive property has a name. It's distributive property. It has not got an alias. It does not go out and commit math crimes. There is not a wanted poster looking for distributive property, wanted dead or alive, also known as flying arrows. No, distributive property. I know it's a joke. Do you really think I'm this mad about flying arrows? Do you really think I'm this passionate about what you call... No. The reason I'm making a big deal out of it is because I will call everything by the real name. Because your future teachers, being that I know them both, will call it by the real name. So when your future teachers say, I'm going to apply the distributive property here, you will go, not, does he mean flying arrows? Does he mean rainbows? You don't know. Okay? The distributive property is as follows. The A is just a coefficient, which means it multiplies by everything inside. You already know that from doing exponent laws where we distributed. You also already know that from Science 10 in chemistry, where if you have Al3PO4 you know that in this part of this ion, there are 2 phosphoruses, 8 oxygens, and 3 aluminums. Then if you put a 3 in front of that, all of those will triple. If you haven't done chemistry in Science 10 yet, I apologize. I just pretty much taught it to you. Okay? Everybody good? All right. So now we are going to show a pictorial, which is tiles, and algebraic, which is symbols. What? What do you mean symbols, Mr. Meyers? Numbers are symbols. How many pens am I holding up? 3. So if I... Oh, you're right. Lawyer ball. I love lawyer ball. Please continue to play it. How many writing implements am I holding up? 3. Excellent. Do we have a symbol to represent this? What is it? That. How many things did I just write there? 1 thing. How many things did it represent? 3 things. That is a symbol. It is not 3 things. Okay? Which is why the original numbers that the Western world used were Roman numerals. 1, 1, 1. 3 things, so there were 3 things.
And there was like an alphabet where like a corner something.
A corner something. Okay. So, let us begin with the picture. That is a factor. That is a factor. Where do the factors live in a picture to show multiplication? On the sides or in the middle? On the sides. One side is 1 factor. The other side is 2 factors. Is the second factor, I mean. 2 x's, -4. Right? Now, what is going to happen when I take this symbol and I multiply it by this symbol?
It becomes a square.
It is going to stretch out. Yes? And then what is going to happen here? Same thing.
It's because 2 rectangles are multiplying to make 1 big square.
I would have never guessed.
What is going to happen here? But who wins? Negative, because negativity always wins with humans. It's true. Positivity is what we want, but negativity is what wins. That is why we vote for people like the people we vote for, because negativity wins. Well, we didn't vote for Donald Trump, but plenty of Canadians are voting for Canadian versions of Donald Trump. The person in charge of Ontario is a Canadian version of Donald Trump. The person soon to be in charge of New Brunswick is the Canadian version of Donald Trump. So, what is the answer to this question? 2x squared minus 4x. Everybody can draw it. Now, let's do math, which is x times 2x minus 4. X times 2x is 2x squared, because x to the 1 and x to the 1 add to get a squared. X times 4 is -4x. Okay? Okay. Prove it. You do this one. Go. I'm going to have a sip of coffee because it's still warm due to this high-quality travel mug my son bought me for Christmas. No, it's not a Yeti. Those Yeti ones are too crazy. My buddy has a Yeti Cooler. It was like $600. I'm like, dude, does it keep your food cold? He says, yeah. So does mine, and mine costs $50. No, he wasn't jealous because his keeps his food cold longer. But I do have a cooler that keeps ice for 5 days. If you can't find more ice in 5 days, then you're going away for too long. Never mind. Hey, did anybody go see Bohemian Rhapsody yet? Yeah. No spoiler alerts. No spoilers.
I was gonna say I cried. So like that's
Okay. Okay. Well, it's not going to be a surprise to me what happens to him because I was alive when all that happened. So I know, but never mind. But it was good? It was good? Yeah. Do you actually like Queen or did you just go see it? Okay.
My dad got me into it. He was used to it and stuff.
Interesting. Bohemian Rhapsody, another one bites the dust. Under Pressure, You're My Best Friend, Fat Bottom Girls, Bicycle Race. Greatest lead singer of any band ever in the history of all music? Freddie Mercury? Nothing? I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Will you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, 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 Figaro, Magnifico? Nothing? Wow. Okay. Queen is the band, Freddie Mercury is the singer. And every other singer who has ever picked up a microphone in the history of all music wishes they were Freddie Mercury. Everyone. Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes. Which, don't bother trying to study in English class, has no meaning whatsoever. It's just a bunch of nonsense. They made a movie of him because he was such an iconic figure, and I don't want to spoil it. They called the movie Bohemian Rhapsody because it's their most famous song, even though it is not their best song. Everybody who knows anything about Queen knows their best song is Under Pressure, which is where Vanilla Ice stole dun 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 dun. Vanilla who? Never mind.
Vanilla.
Is everybody good? And remember, of course, we are staying within the warm and comfortable confines of grade 9 math. Today, we might be in trouble now depending on who our grade 9 teacher was. What do I have there? That's a factor. What do I have there? That's a factor. You're all already jumping to another thing I hate. So don't. Wait till we get there. Excellent. And where, Jasleen, do factors live if we are going to draw a picture of multiplication? On the sides. One side will be x plus 3. The other side will be x plus 2. Which gets me what for an answer? What's that? X squared. What's that? X, 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 which is positive 5x's. And what's that? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Positive 6. Yes? Now, algebraically, x plus 3, x plus 2. All right, now, if there was no 3 there, what would you have? X squared plus 2x, correct? If there was no x there, but there was a positive 3, what would you have? 3x plus 6, yes? What do you notice? X squared plus 5x plus 6. Now that leads you to the next thing your grade 9 teachers taught you. This acronym. I don't like it. Change the light bulb, adjust the shower. Change the light bulb, adjust the shower. Yes, okay. There's a reason I do not like it. Because it only works in binomial times binomial. And you people get so trapped in every shortcut you can possibly find that as soon as I change what it looks like, you all of a sudden can no longer do the math. Which is why I do not like FOIL. You all know it, though, as first, outside, inside, last. And you will all use that x plus y times a plus b to do this. First, xa. Outside plus xb. Inside plus ya. Outside plus yb. First, red line. Outside, blue line. Inside, green line. Outside, last, black line. You all know that. You will use it to death. It's your best friend. I don't like it, and I'm about to show you why. But first, I am going to... Oh, my black line was wrong, wasn't it? I made a big happy face. What a dunderhead. There. Now, all of you will perform FOIL here. What is the answer? X squared plus 4x minus 1x minus 4. Why do you stack them, Mr. Meyers? X's are with x's. X squared, 4 minus 1 is 3x. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Everybody cool? Now I am going to break my own rules. I am going to give you a shortcut that you may or may not be aware of. What do you notice about 3 and negative 1 and positive 4? You can add them together. What do you notice about negative 1, positive 4, and negative 4? You can multiply them together. So, if that happens once in math, how often does it happen? All the time. So what if I gave you m plus 2 and m plus 6? Do you need to FOIL? No, because you know it is m squared plus 8m plus 12. No. And you will not hear that from me. This is a gift I am giving you. Now, if I actually FOIL this out, I get first m squared, yes? Outside plus 6m. Inside plus 2m. Outside plus 12. M squared. 6 plus 2, 8, 12. This is a shortcut that works, but only if this has no coefficient. Okay? Everybody with me? Now, I am not going to get into why I don't like FOIL because I want you to practice first. Your homework tonight, and it says assignment, but it's not. Page 111 and 112. Everybody good? I lie. No, 111 and 112. Yes. 111 and 112. That is your homework. Question, Suhani.